I'm a science teacher here. I teach environmental science and astronomy, and I am also the planetarium curator.
And I'm Mr. Selfridge. I teach environmental science, honors zoology, and physics, and I am the assistant planetarium curator.
So the weather project was a challenge to students to research a certain severe weather phenomenon and then to create a script in which they were pretending to be newscasters reporting on that phenomenon, both in the weather station and out in the field with like a tornado behind them. So we went into the studio down in the library where they have a green screen and technology and a teleprompter for students to read from, the whole setup. And then they acted like they were severe weather reporters. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, the students had to have their script done before they got in there, so that was kind of their ticket to go record that. And they had to do some things along the way that were assignment-based and related to what we had been talking about, but they got to pick the phenomenon that they were doing. So some students were super interested in the tornado one, some in the blizzards, and some got to have fun with a hurricane behind them. Yeah, so in more specifics, right, it's environmental science, so we go through several units throughout our year. We start with space, with the big picture stuff when the universe started. Then we go to our Earth unit, which is the rocks underneath our feet and how they move and how they interact. And now at the end of this first semester, we're in our atmosphere unit. So we're talking about how the atmosphere, the air on our planet, does things that impact us humans. And in particular, we were focusing on those severe storms. So tornadoes, blizzards, and hurricanes for this particular project. But we also talked about a bunch of other ones along the way.
I would also add to that too, is that unit kind of culminates in talking about climate change, which is the big topic of environmental science. So understanding the impacts of severe weather helps students better understand that climate change is increasing the frequency and severity of these weather events. So what does that really mean if we have more tornadoes or more severe thunderstorms and hurricanes or more frequent blizzards? What does that mean for people? And that's some of the questions that kind of got brought up with the project. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the largest impact I saw with students was just kind of getting out of their shell and having a little bit of fun. Sometimes classes can feel super regimented, and so the opportunity to be creative really just sparked that engagement from our students. And we saw students just really just have fun with it and do all the work that they needed to do, but still kind of get that reward of having fun in the studio and pretending to be newscasters and all that came with that.
And like I said, we kind of prevented the studio until they had done some of the academic work. So they had to show us that understanding of the material and what we were doing in environmental science before they got into that fun space. But I do see that a lot of my students who are usually pretty quiet or usually aren't super engaged in what we're doing, they were into it. And even though at first they weren't, by the end of that recording, many of them were asking when we can do another project like this, or hey, can we go back in there and re-record because we messed up our line and we want to make it perfect.
Yeah.
So they were getting super excited and into what we were doing.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome MMTV. It is me, Ugana Kalechi, a senior in Mitchell High School. It is right now 71 degrees Fahrenheit, very sunny, not so many clouds. And today I'll be talking about my science project that was like a weather report. So, in this time project, me and my group were making up a write-up and making up a script about specific weather patterns, and specifically we did blizzards. And as we all know, blizzards is straight up just very strong and constant winds with very loose snow, just flying around and making it very hard to see and very dangerous. So we went down to the library and did our little like recording and stuff, and it was divine. Like it was so fun because like instead of me like just writing down like everything, like all the facts, like so and so is like blizzards are like really dangerous and they have like a bunch of snow and blah blah blah. Like no, we did like an entire video pretending we were like news reporters and stuff like that, and it was literally so funny. Like we were trying to get this guy's mustache like to fall off with like pretend wind, and it was so difficult, and it was literally just hilarious. It was like really fun. I like genuinely like enjoyed it like a lot. So I think you guys should all take environmental science and do the project with me. Thank you.